I am so excited about this presenter. I'm so excited about this product. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Brian Freed, who has done many products, by the way, this latest one is so cool. Welcome, Brian. Please tell us what you've got.
How you doing? Thank you. So this one is called the paper towel topper. So think about it. When your hands are dirty or they're wet and you go to reach for that paper towel, you usually put your hand on top of the paper towel roll. And I started to notice that they got wet and dirty quite a bit. So introducing the paper towel topper. So you take this piece and you put it right into the top of the roll. And then now anytime you want to take a paper towel, that's it. It just keeps it clean and away from any dirt or water.
I just want to say that this has been a learning experience for me, because usually when I take a paper towel, I either push it down, I tear it down, or I do one of these things and a bunch of them come out. I never even thought of putting my hand on the paper towel holder in the first place.
Well, I don't, because I usually have, like, if I'm cooking, like chicken grossness on my hand, I don't want to get the whole thing of paper towels gross with chicken, right? So it is a problem. I mean, and then I love the pictures on your website. Like, if you look at his website,
I know. It's like, I saw the website this morning and it was like, I instantly got it. You know, it was like, wow, that's really cool. So
thank you.
So
thank you. And just thank you. And just trying to figure out, like, how many people have under the counter type of paper towel rolls and how many people use stands, and just doing that research, just like Terry mentioned earlier. It's all about who's going to want it. And I did the research and I found out who would want this baby. And that's why I brought it to market.
So how are sales going these days?
I didn't launch it yet.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
I have several hundred units in my garage, and I have several thousand units on the way, and I am prepared to launch. So I'm actually sharing my launch on your show.
Wow.
Well, I want one. Definitely.
Yeah. Do radio show hosts get like free toppers?
So what is it going to sell for, Terry? Brian?
I was doing $7.99, which includes shipping. So that's it. And we'll see how it does. Like you mentioned, I have many products. This one I just came up with a few months ago, did the whole prototyping and everything else, and now it's available for sale. So I'm just kind of soft launching right now. If somebody does find it or we're talking about it and they end up going to the website, they can purchase it. But I am going to do a major launch. So I'm happy to share it with you on your show. The
Great.
paper towel topper.
What is the website?
papertoweltopper.com.
Well, that's easy.
Wow, that's easy to remember.
So I'm sure Terry has something to say.
Yeah.
Terrific. I mean, look, this is the kind of idea. He's done the research. He sees that there is a problem. And so many people, start a business based on a problem in their own life. But the important step was the next step he did. I have a lot of people who say, well, this is the way I travel, so I built an app to do this. I said, does anybody else do that? But Brian went out and did the research, and that's what's important. Find out if there are other people there, and he's going to get feedback, and somebody's going to say, well, I want it in a different color. I don't like glass, or, a dozen things will happen. Some of them will be stupid, but if you listen to those ideas, he'll continue to iterate on that product, and then he'll get a bunch of great reviews and start selling on Amazon, and away it'll go.
Thank you, Terry.
Brian, this isn't your first product, right? You've been an inventor for a while.
Yes.
How do you think of these things? I mean, what is the creative process for you? Does it just kind of come to you, or?
It's really based on things that annoy me, to be honest with you, or watching other people do things that kind of annoy me. And just like Terry mentions, like, you want to make things simple. Sometimes you can come up with something and it takes one step to do, but you just came up with something and now it takes 3 or 4 or 5 steps. It's different and it's new, but it doesn't make sense. So what I do is I kind of look at things from, like things that annoy me. But what I want to do is think about the other person. And Terry, I loved your presentation and your interview there. One thing that's really important to me as an inventor is that when I come up with something, I take the emotion out of coming up with my idea and I look at it from a business perspective. Is this going to make me money? I want to know, are people going to use my product? Yes, I'll use it and I'll be my number one fan. Is anybody else going to use it? So that's why I started to come up with a bunch. I have around my desk here, I have a bunch of the products that I've kind of, I have over a dozen patents. And that's one of the things that I do is like, I got married. I watched what my wife did. And there were things that she did that kind of annoyed me. I told her very gently and politely, but I started to see things that she was doing, living with her and everything else. And look, you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you're in the bed, then you go to the bathroom, then you go downstairs to your kitchen, then you're in these different environments. So if you're in that zone and you kind of make things like you're aware of what you're doing and what's going on and what other people are doing around you, that's when it kind of like hits you. So like one time I was in my kitchen and I started to take the bread out and I noticed that my bread was stale. We don't eat bread every day. And then I said, that's open. Then I went into my pantry and I saw my cereal boxes open. It wasn't closed properly. So I was like, you know what? There's got to be something else out there. Chip clips, plastic tabs that they put, twist ties. So I was like, they don't work well. I'm not happy with it. So I came up with this product called pull ties. And I've sold millions of dollars of this product. I was on QVC with it. It was in Walmart, Target, like all these different stores. And now it's back again. It's in TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Home Sense. So you take any plastic bag, cereal bag, or freezer bag, you put it through the loop and you push the button and you seal it tight. And that's pull ties, So just another simple idea. And I went on air and I was holding 20-pound bags of potatoes with them to show the durability of them, the dishwasher safe, freezer safe. But, it's like, okay, how many people like bread? I'm not sure. So I wanted to expand it. So it's bread, cereal, pantry, freezer. And I just kept expanding my window of opportunity to make it a successful product.
That's awesome. And it's so much better than a twist tie, which you lose and isn't strong enough. But the definition of innovation, creativity is about thinking up things. Innovation is about doing them. It's about putting an idea to work. So I have 4 patents, but none of them turned into products because the company I worked for didn't productize them. They don't count. They're not innovations. You are not only an inventor, you're an innovator because you actually built the product, got it out there, and you're marketing it, and you're, inventing and iterating on it all the time. So that's awesome.
Thank you, Terry. And you know what? When I listened to other people and I took their feedback, and I did it usually at the prototype stage before I went into production, that's really what made the difference. And separating the emotion from the business is huge. And that's what, other inventors I talk to, I tell them the same thing. You got to look at it as a business. I know you love it. You're passionate. You want it. You want it to be this gazillion-dollar product that you're dreaming of having it be. But is it going to make you money? So here's another quick product. If it's okay, I'll show you another one. I came home one night and there was no room left in my fridge and I had leftovers, and I opened up the fridge and I saw that there was like this little space where the eggs are. And I was like, oh my goodness, all this space, and there was one egg left in the carton. So I came up with a tray that you put your eggs in. And as you put your eggs, as you take them out, you push it back until there's that much space left. So I called it Extra Space. It's a flexible egg tray.
So I gotta ask you something, Brad. I like that.
And I actually own one of those.
Hey.
So
My wife makes everything smaller all the time. I tell her that space in the universe cannot be conserved. You don't need to do that. But
Well, I
everything has
appreciate
to
her.
get smaller.
I appreciate her being an excellent customer.
So, Brian, I want to ask you something. So a lot of these products you've been talking about, they don't cost a lot of money, right? So they're under $20 probably, all of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So do you find that's the best route to go, is to make things that aren't super expensive so you can get a lot of people buying them? Or is it okay for an entrepreneur to make like a $50,000 thing and hope they get 2 sales a year?
Well, it's thinking about direct to consumer, thinking about who your consumer is. So I do have some more expensive type of items, but then I also have like these snack containers that I designed also that are really simple. And we've sold millions and millions of units of these things. I have Elmo, Cookie Monster, Ninja Turtles. So it's really about, I'm not really thinking about how much it costs when I'm coming up with something. I'm thinking about what the idea is, who's going to buy it, and then maybe how much it's going to cost. Like, what kind of material is it going to be made out of? Because I can make these pull ties, I can make them out of, 14 karat gold, but they're going to be made out of silicone. So I go through those iterations in my mind of how I see things, how they could be. But I also have a good team. I work with engineers and product designers and different people, and I get their feedback. And I do a lot of freelancing packaging design. Somebody who did the pull ties did this beautiful packaging design for me also, which you'll see on the website. You know what I mean? So I just kind of go through, and now as you start to, you have that itch when you're coming up with, you come up with something, you kind of go through the process, and you got to make a decision if it's something that you're going to move forward with or not.
So unfortunately, we're running low on time, but I just wanted to compliment you on one piece, and that was how you described the creative process for you, and paying attention to the environment and getting ideas from that. And I think that was probably one of the best explanations of creativity I've heard. So I definitely want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. You're listening to Passage to Profit with Richard and Elizabeth Gerhart, our special guest, Terry Jones, and of course, Kenya Gibson, our media maven. We'll be right back after this.